What's up, everybody? We're back. Bit of a new. What are you laughing at already? Bit of a new background here. This is room what, 8 or 9?
This is room 1.
1 of 30. So it doesn't technically qualify as a mansion. I looked it up. It doesn't meet the requirements, but it's as close as you can pretty much get. We are in the new house. We are discussing where we're going to make our podcast room at and what kind of... It's definitely Thunderdome-ish vibes in the basement when I see basketball hoops. We're going to have a shuffleboard court, ping pong. We need to get that big... You can set your projector up and we can do the videos, watch the replays. We need NFL rights. Can you loan me $4 million? Was it $4 million he said?
Yes.
Well, not now, but you probably could have before.
No.
So, we're here. We're still trying to keep up. I just exited out of everything I needed. All right, there it is. It's another weird week. Total, the average points was 108. 6 teams hit it. Stu, Tags, me, Kurt, Jeff, and Abbott. Abbott scored the week high 160. That's his first weekly high. So he may have turned a corner for himself. So let's start with the breakdown. It was I beat Joey 123-92. My big guys were Kenyon Drake with 23 points. I know that was to your dismay. And Patriots defense for 32. Fantastic play on my part. I'm betting against Indy every chance I get. I took the Patriots versus Indy, and it worked. Joey had not a great game. 17 out of Cousins, 17 out of Waddle, 16 out of Hardman. It wasn't enough. He moves to 3-6. I moved to 3-6. Anything stick out with this game? Joey still, with Chase and CD on a bye. Kittle. He has a decent team. Justin Fields on the bench with 52 points. That's a stinger.
Yeah, oh man.
I just saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why he went with Cousins there. I guess Minnesota was hot. But yeah, he dealt with a lot of buys this week. Chase being injured, Lamb, Kittle on a bye. You, on the other hand, it almost seems like even though Jonathan Taylor was your first pick, you're actually just picking against them, and it's going to your benefit. So.
Yeah, it absolutely is. He's terrible. I didn't even have. Well, he was out last week. I didn't even play him, but I probably would have lost points because I don't know. I probably would have took out Algier, and I don't think Taylor would have touched 12 points. Second game was Jeff versus you. Jeff won 108-74. Jeff with another steady game. 22 out of Geno, 22 out of Eckler, 25 out of Tyreek Hill. And you, on the other hand, who was your highest scorer? 12 points, Metcalf. Aaron Rodgers and Metcalf. You have to be over Aaron Rodgers by this point.
I think I am. A couple years ago, he was going in the top couple rounds. Now he's...
back-to-back MVPs.
I think he's just about done.
I don't know if it's him. He is missing guys, but his receivers aren't helping. Devontae Adams was huge for that team. And then looking down your lineup, Kyle Pitts with another 3-point game. He's frustrating as well. I had him last year. He has every measurable imagine. He's just the prototypical greatest build. He's Calvin Johnson, but they can't get him the ball.
Yeah, it's frustrating because he was a third-round pick. I expect him to do, last week I think it was, or 2 weeks ago, he had 18 or so points and a touchdown, and that's kind of what you expect out of him every week. But more often than not, you get the 3 points, and that just kills me.
Yeah. You scored 74. That's pretty bad. It ain't the worst. Next game was the General beating Palmer. Tags was 116 to Palmer's 90. There's a lot more space here. I'm crossing my hands. The acoustics sound better. I'm banging the table. I don't hear the bump like it usually is on the bar. I'm liking this. I'm liking this situation. Tags beat Palmer 116-91. Tags with, a pedestrian game as far as his standards are. Josh Allen with a measly 23. He was 3 points under his projection, and now he may have a UCL strain. I don't know. Dalvin Cook with 12. Juju with 13. He's been decent. They were talking about his average depth of target. His average depth of target went way down the past couple weeks, and his points have gone way up because he's caught all the passes and he's catching them underneath and turning them into something. Miles Sanders with 15. That's pretty decent. That gave him enough. On the other side, Carr had 20. That's pretty much it. 15 for Pierce. I'm just glad he made it on his lineup. 16 for Josh Palmer. Tim Palmer had a rough situation with McCaffrey being out. McCaffrey's on a bye. Keenan Allen's out. I don't know when he comes back, if he comes back. Cortland Sutton's on a bye. Brandon Cooks, I think he pretty much quit. He was mad he wasn't traded, but he signed a 3-year extension last year, so all that money, they can't really move him. I mean, he signed the deal, he wanted the money, and now he wants to win, so tough luck, I wonder if he's regretting his decision.
I think both these teams had a guy on your bench who's actually maybe a shining light. I think that Cordero Patterson coming back for tags, I think that helps him. It looks like he had 2 touchdowns. Atlanta, they really relied on him last year. I thought they were going to go to the rookie this year, but it seems like Patterson's still going to score some points there. And then James Robinson at New York, he already has a touchdown. Looks like he's actually getting, splitting carries with Carter.
And that's a tough Buffalo matchup they played against. I sold you Carter in Guillotine. The only reason I sold Carter is because he was playing Buffalo and he was going to split with Robinson. It worked out for, he got points. He had a nice game, but they both, that's a pretty nice 1-2 punch. The Jets are no joke, man. I really like what they're doing. Tags moves to 6-3, Palmer 3-6. Next game was Kurt at 140 versus Jack at 95. So this was that moves Jack to 6-3. That moves Kurt to 6-3. Jack Stafford at 12. Apparently Stafford's in concussion protocol right now, from what I understand. I don't think he's playing this week, and they're not making a big deal about it. Josh Jacobs with 10. That's way off his standard. Devontae Adams, however, had 33. He's boom or bust, but he's still pretty good, and that's on a bad Vegas team. I don't know. I think Adams leaving Vegas doesn't cost Vegas any wins, but I definitely think Adams leaving Green Bay cost a lot to Aaron Rodgers. The Ravens defense at 15. That's a decent day for his defense. Moving over to Kurt. Burrow with 20. Derrick Henry with 25. That's pretty good. ETN with 27. ETN is a stud. I don't think he's going to be durable, especially since they traded Robinson, but he looks electric fast whenever he's spinning and making his cuts. He looks good. Diggs with 11. It was a bit of an off day for him. T. Higgins with 9. I thought playing Carolina with T. Higgins, with Chase being out, he'd got a lot more, but I guess, the running back getting 6 touchdowns or 5 touchdowns took away from Higgins a bit. Michael Carter with 15, like we talked about earlier. A nice day, especially out of the Buffalo defense while you're splitting carries. So
ETN's had, I think, 5 really good weeks in a row now. Do you think he was the number 1 running back in that draft class?
So he was the second running back drafted from what I remember.
Yes.
And he didn't play last year. I think he had more production last year than Najee does this year, however. I don't know. Najee was inefficient last year, but it was positive. He got yards. But now that he's not doing much, I think it has a lot more to do with the injury than anything. I mean, who just got Liz Frank? Wasn't it one of the Ravens? Or someone just got surgery for a Liz Frank injury. That's what Najee's been playing on. So, if they would have addressed it week 1, I don't think their record changes, and maybe you get Najee back now, a healthy Najee. But now they're talking about, is he, who was that running back from Alabama a couple years ago? The Browns drafted? Trent Richardson.
Yes.
A bigger Alabama running back who, they destroy and they never turn out in the pros. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't think he was a great first-round pick, but I don't think all the Steelers' woes are on his shoulders right now. Next game was the big game, the high-scoring game. Abbott won 160. He beat Stu to 145. He beat him by 15. Like we said, Abbott got the high score. 23 out of Kyler. We just said it. 55 out of Mixon. Monster game. 8 out of Fournette. I think his days are numbered there. That team needs to do something. Fournette is not helping. Tyler Lockett with 15. Dallas Goedert with 22. For Stu, I just noticed that.
No D?
I just noticed that. I mean, maybe. So Mahomes had 33. Singletary had 6. I actually think Singletary's days are numbered now with Naeem Hines being there. Yeah, they don't run. They don't need to. On the other hand, Kenneth Walker, 28. Cooper Kupp with 26. He's not hurt. We thought he was. That's not the case. Kelsey and Kirk both with 17. I guess there was a couple defenses that could have won him this week. I don't know that any were available for him. And honestly, he's 6-3 now. It doesn't matter. I mean, we can say it. Stu, Pat, and Kurt probably have that division locked up. Myself, Joey with an injured Jamar Chase, and Bry Guy. Let's talk about that. Next game was Pat at 7-2 with 105 points versus Brian, 3-6 with 52 points. Joe Mixon scored more than Brian's team. So you had 74, and you beat him by 12 points.
I think Justin Fields might have had more than Bry Guy as well.
Oh, I was looking at Herbert. I was like, no, I thought you meant Herbert. Yeah, so Hurts had 23, Ramondre 14, Justin Jefferson with 24. Higbee had 0. I just realized Higbee had 0 because there was trade offers going back and forth, and Higbee was on that thing, and it made me sick to even think about. Now I know why. Not a ton on the bench. Godwin maybe, but the other side, Herbert 11, Jamal Williams with 10, nothing out of Waller. Gabe Davis with 4, McLaurin with 8.
Tua was his most productive player on the bench.
27 on the bench. That's a miss. I mean, so he drafted Herbert and you drafted Tua. At this point, it's not even close.
And he drafted Najee, yeah.
Tua is far better. I don't know what you do, though. You can't really trade Herbert. And then, Najee's on the bench. Dobbins is hurt on the bench.
I would trade for Tua.
I would trade for Tua.
Maybe I should.
Well, I wouldn't. I should, but I invested so much in Lamar. But Tua is a play. He can fetch something, you know. I don't know when the trade deadline. I think it's around Thanksgiving, isn't it? I'm not even sure, but I think we have time. Bry 52. That moves him to 3-6. So standings wise, like we kind of touched on a minute ago, Tags is 6-3 along with Jack, and then Abbott is 5-4. You, Jeff, and Palmer are all 3-6. You're still within striking distance, but there is some work to be done. On the other side, Pat is the overall leader at 7-2. Stu and Kurt are both 6-3, commanding 3-game lead on myself, Joey, and Bry Guy. We're all 3-6. Points for-wise, it looks like Palmer is 844 at the lowest. And the highest is at still Stu at 1,257. Kurt's coming up. He's only 57 points behind him now. And then there's a 200-point gap between Stu, Kurt with Tagmar. So that's pretty wild. Tagmar's at 1,000. Kurt's at 1,200. So, getting into this week. Let me find it. I play... our picks this week. So you went 3-3. That brings you to 21-26. I realized last week I went 4-1. You went 1-4. There's 6 games, so I missed a game somewhere for both of us. But you went 3-3 to make you 21-26. I went 6-0.
Wow.
To be 30-17. So I was excited about that. I can't draft a team,
but you can pick them.
But I can pick them after they're done. I can say if I'm going to lose or not. All right, so this week's games, they're all, I think your division's a lot closer than mine is, but I play Abbott this week, and I don't love my matchups. I'll load it up here. This new internet's a little bit slower. So I have Andy Dalton, Jonathan Taylor, Tyler Algier, Mike Gesicki. I still don't have a flex. Don't have a kicker yet. I'm not even going to pretend like I have a chance. Although looking at his lineup, it's not
His isn't-
stellar. He has
His isn't
Kyler.
much better.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, Deontay Johnson. Tyler Lockett's probably his best player, maybe Thielen. Mixon's on a bye. He could always put Robbie Anderson in. He has less yards now than he did when he was on Carolina. So that just shows you the ineptitude of the Arizona coaching staff. What are the projections? 77 and that. He's still. I only have 7 players. You know what? I am going to take myself. It's ugly. I don't think I'm going to win, so I'm going to lose my streak here. But I'm still going to take myself because why not?
Yeah, I'm going to go with, as much as I want to take you, I'm going to go with him. I don't love Gordon, but I think other than that, he has, an okay lineup. You're missing a flex in the D or a kicker right now.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Lazard at this point.
He's the last one left. Dobbs is out.
Yeah.
Christian Watson can't catch, and he's hurt every other game. It's Lazard or Tunyon at this point.
So I'm going with the quarantine crew.
Yeah, it makes sense. Here's another good one. Well, actually, Jeff's 3-6, but Jeff versus Tags, Dak at Green Bay, Eckler versus San Fran. That should be a wild one. Tyreek Hill versus Cleveland. That should be crazy. Mike Evans. If Brady can get that offense going, Mike Evans versus Seattle should be decent, but who knows? Now for Tagmeyer, a questionable Josh Allen versus Minnesota. Dalvin Cook at Buffalo. He doesn't have Carolina. He has Patterson tonight at Carolina. Juju versus Jacksonville should be decent. Olave versus Steelers. I'd like to see how Olave is going to do. I guess Watt's back this week. Maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't think is it official yet. I don't even know if it is or not. I'm going to take Tagmeyer. Seems like this year he wins, and it seems like this year Jeff loses, regardless of how good or bad I think both of the teams are. That kind of seems like the trajectory they're on.
Nah, you know what? I'll go opposite you. I'll pick Jeff. I like Dak a lot. I think he's gonna, as the season kind of moves on, and he gets healthier and kind of gets in a rhythm, he's coming back. Eckler's been one of the top fantasy players all year, and same thing with Tyreek Hill. I think those three are going to carry Jeff, especially if Allen's banged up. If Allen's banged up, I think Tags is in trouble. I don't think it's that bad, but I'm going Jeff.
Do you like the Sapporo?
It's good.
All right. I had it at Nakama, and it was so cool and so crisp. It's not quite as cool. It's okay. It's I guess it's Vietnamese. They said from Vietnam. Brewed and canned by Sapporo Vietnam Limited. Yeah. All right, next one was the Crumb Snatchers versus Return Doubtful. So it's Palmer at 3-6 versus Jack 6-3. They're giving Palmer Jack only has 8 players. So they're giving Palmer the edge. Oh, he doesn't have a defense, and the Ravens are on a bye. I wonder if he didn't make a play for a defense check. So I actually got Tennessee, I think, for $1 or something this week. I really like Tennessee. Derek Carr versus Indy. Indy has a good defense, but as stupid as Indy is, well, they have Jeff Saturday coaching now. I don't even know if Indy has a good defense anymore. But I think Vegas is they're a fraud organization as well. They spent so much money, so many picks, so much money on Carr, so many picks to get Adams. They hate Josh Jacobs. He's their best player. Yeah. So I don't know what they're going to do. McCaffrey versus the Chargers. That should be good. Pierce versus the Giants. We'll see if he can't keep it up. Josh Palmer versus San Fran, Aaron Jones versus Dallas. I think Aaron Jones is a little banged up too. Palmer's Jaguars defense against KC. I think you're better off not starting a defense if that's what he's if that's what he thinks is the good play here. Does he have a backup defense? He doesn't. So maybe him and Jack can just both not play a defense and work that out. For Jack, Daniel Jones versus Houston, that should be a sweet game. Again, Jacobs versus Indy. We'll see how that plays out. Pollard at Green Bay. If Dak's out, Pollard is the play. Unfortunately, if Dak's in, Pollard is still the play, but they don't seem to realize that. Devontae Adams at Indy. Debo at the Chargers. Dalton Schultz versus Green Bay. Foreman versus Atlanta. So Foreman had a super monster game the day I cut him and didn't start a player. He didn't look great last week, I didn't think. And I don't know. It's going to be rainy. I think hurricane. Bet the under. I don't know. I'm still taking Jack. He, again, seems to be winning. He's 6-3. Palmer's 3-6.
Yep. I'm going with Jack as well. It's you know, there are a couple people I like, players on Palmer's team that I like.
I love McCaffrey. I think him trading to San Fran was huge.
He's on a 6-game losing streak right now.
Is that accurate? He started 3-0,
and he hasn't won since.
Wow, 3-6.
So at this point, I just can't pick him because of that. I think Jack has. I like Debo. I like Devontae. I like Jacobs.
Yeah, man, I didn't realize you lost 6 in a row. That's got to be frustrating. Next game is Kurt at 6-3 versus Joey 3-6. This game will probably eliminate Joey from contention if Kurt wins. I would assume. Kurt got Mariota at Carolina. Derrick Henry versus Denver. Etienne versus KC. Diggs, Pickens. Who's playing Pickens versus New Orleans this week? Zay Jones at Kansas City. That's a new one. Jacksonville receiver Zay Jones. The other side for Joey, he did move and put Fields in. Was your house get broke into?
Let me see.
Pat's here. He has Justin Fields at Detroit.